Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are going to be talking about Zilliqa and the 5 reasons as to why we invested in this project. We think it's fantastic. There are more than 5, but we've narrowed it down to our top 5 for you guys. So if you find this useful, then definitely do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really does appreciate it, as do I. And if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do so subscribe. By subscribing you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Chris, anything you want to add, or should we just jump straight into point number 1?
Let's get straight into it, Nick. Let's do it.
Fantastic, right. So point number 1, the very first reason is all about the team. So the team for Zilliqa is absolutely fantastic. So it's basically like research brought to life, as they describe on their website here. And so the Zilliqa team was basically born at the National University of Singapore and was the brainchild of a team of academics, entrepreneurs and engineers. And the technology is peer-reviewed academic research, and it's backed by that, right? So it's absolutely fantastic. But beyond, just how it was actually, born and brought into life, there are a good set of team members. Okay, so here we obviously have the 5 kind of guys to be focusing in on, and gals, I should say. So the only downside to their website as it stands, Chris, is you cannot get a direct link into their LinkedIn profiles. So you can easily hop on over to LinkedIn, do a good old search there, and you can see their history, right? So we can see that our main man here, he says the VP Ecosystem Development. He has basically, he's working at Zilliqa here, for 2 years and 6 months. Full-time, and it's basically senior VP ecosystem, full-time since August 2020 to present, right? He also does Zilliqa as well from September 2020 to present, but it's the background that's really interesting, isn't it, Chris? So he has a background here from ST Engineering. He was there for 2 years, design engineer and aero mechanical engineer, as well as a design engineer as well at Dyson back in December 2014 through to March 15, right? So really interesting. He was an intern there, progressed over to ST Engineering and then to Zilliqa. So really good to see a core team, that are basically, academics, entrepreneurs and engineers. And we're a believer in the same way that Cardano, right? When you actually have people who understand this stuff inside and out, can come together in a well-knit way to deliver a blockchain solution that is very hard to rival. So it's fantastic to see, and that is our first reason. As along with most other projects that we're invested in, team is absolutely crucial. So Chris, anything you want to add to team at this point?
Nothing much. The team is really important. It's one of our boxes that we have to have ticked, because without a great management team and a great team of people that understand the tech that's being built, you're not really going to get anywhere. So yeah, it's one tick in the box for us, this one.
Absolutely. So that will take us on then, Chris, to the second point and the second reason for Zilliqa and why we're so bullish on it at this point in time, and that comes down to the scalability and the sharding, to be more specific, right? So Zilliqa is incredibly scalable. Zilliqa solves the prevailing issue of scalability using its own unique sharding technique. And basically this allows the blockchain to scale in a linear fashion as the network grows in size. Its ability to handle large volumes of transactions makes it suitable to meet enterprise needs, right? And we'll talk more about that as we get further down our list of reasons here. But let's take a look at that in a little bit more detail, right? So if we hop on down here, you can see the scales with network size, right? So we get a bit of a graph here to show you what's going on. And by implementing a network sharding, Zilliqa is able to divide the network into multiple groups. Each group is able to process transactions in parallel. For instance, right, if 6 shards with 600 nodes each, basically the process transactions individually, right? So 6 shards processing at the same time, each of those with 600 nodes. Then all the shards will collectively be able to process around 2,828 transactions per second. The sharded network architecture also allows for the throughput of the platform to increase almost linearly as the network expands, right? So it's basically, you know, unrivaled in certain regards. And this is problems that Ethereum have been having in terms of their scalability, right? And why so many blockchains are turning to sharding as a solution. So it's fantastic to see that you know, their unique approach to sharding is fantastic, and it will grow with the network. So the other thing also to point out here that we don't talk about as a specific reason, but is also to talk about the low gas fees. It's incredibly cheap in comparison to things like Ethereum or Bitcoin. You know, another great reason, not one of our ones that we've called out here, but something to focus in on as well. Chris, is there anything you want to talk about you know, scalability at this point, or should we just move to point 3?
I don't think there's really anything that I can add. I think, you know, you've highlighted the issues that Ethereum are having. So yeah, you know, it's pretty clear.
Fantastic. Right. So that will take us over then, guys, to our third reason for investing into Zilliqa. And basically, that's all about the staking rewards, right? So I'm going to give a bit of an overview on the staking side, and then Chris is going to go through, you know, some of the things that are maybe a little bit less known, I think, you know, when it comes to GZIL and things like that. But basically, staking is, you know, for those who do not know, is a technique that will push our network, or, you know, the Zilliqa network, decentralization to a new level while bringing more benefits to a wider community. Staking will open up access to manage Zilliqa seed nodes to our ecosystem of miners. Token holders and developers will create more utility for ZIL, right? And ZIL is the ticker for the cryptocurrency, right? So why stake it, right? So what's the incentive? So basically, you know, the utility of Zilliqa token is almost utmost importance to us, right? So to Zilliqa here. Through strategic partnerships and with exchanges and wallets, we want to ensure our token holders enjoy various options to enjoy annual returns of 6% or more with non-custodial staking returns on their investment as they hold them, right? So very important that we understand that, you know, it's a passive income potentially earned from staking. And it also helps the network massively. So stake to fuel the circular economy of Zilliqa, right? So you have an incentive to stake and hold over a long period of time as the ecosystem gains in value, right? So rewards are offered to ZIL holders for delegating their tokens and staking them. Right? So as most people stake, reinvest in our ecosystem, and more projects join our open finance, or OpFi, as they call it there, infrastructure will be powered by using ZIL as the medium of exchange and liquidity incentive. And consequently, by increasing usage of the platform and increasing amount of transaction fees, in ZIL, it will be burned, right? So basically, the transaction fees will be burned, allowing for a sustainable circular economy, which is really fantastic. And the other thing that I guess at this point is really important to point out, Chris, is the actual maximum supply of ZIL tokens is only 21 billion. There will never be any more than 21 billion ever in existence. But Chris, do you want to talk more about the practical aspects of staking ZIL, what kind of returns you're getting, and maybe even touch a little bit on GZIL?
Yeah, okay. So the returns that you can currently get are anywhere up to about 15.63%, which is currently what I'm receiving for staking my ZIL, which is phenomenal, right? I mean, if you think about it, where can you get returns like that elsewhere? You know, it's almost unheard of. Don't get me wrong, there are some others. You know, one that sort of springs to mind would be OneHarmony, where you can get similar amounts staking that. But for me, this is just mammoth. Like the passive income that you can earn from this is just phenomenal. And obviously, it's not sustainable to do this long term, as Nick mentioned. The total token supply that there will be in the future, but you know, whilst you can get it, you know, it's phenomenal and it's worth doing. And you can do this like simply using I don't know, a nano ledger, for example, or the Atomic wallet as another example. Most of the pools charge a 5% commission rate. But really, to be honest, that's not a great deal, is it really, Nick?
And a thing to point out there is, you know, the higher the fee that you pay, the more incentive that pool operator has to be a good actor, right? The lower the fee, the more, I guess, revenue you might generate, but there's less incentive for the pool operator to work as they should. So, be happy with the fees. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and you've got 𝗕𝗓𝗪 as well. So that we got lots of questions about this before we really knew what it was, didn't we, Nick?
Yeah.
So basically, it's whilst you're staking your ZIL until October, I believe, you're basically going to get an additional accumulation of this 𝗕𝗓𝗪 token. Do you want to sort of talk through what that token is, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. So the governance ZIL is what it's called, or 𝗕𝗓𝗪 is the ticker, right? So this currently has a value of $73, okay? And by staking your regular ZIL tokens, you will basically be able to get access to the 𝗕𝗓𝗪, a governance token. This is going to be used as the governance token on the network, or may allow you to make decisions and all those kind of good things and vote and whatnot on Zilliqa. So basically, it's fantastic. I think there is an exchange rate between the two, but I do forget exactly what that is. It's like, is it 1,000 times or 100 times the value? It's 1,000 times.
Something like that. But I mean, there's 83.02% remaining 𝗕𝗓𝗪 available. It's there, I believe, until October. Whether that gets extended out, possibly, but it could also be shorter, right? If we get loads of like whales come into this space staking, then they're going to be getting a lot of 𝗕𝗓𝗪, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. So one to pay attention to as well. Anything else on staking, Chris, or should we move over to point 4?
No, I think that's it for staking. Just a really big, tick in a box, that one, really, because you're getting good rates. It's a great passive income.
Fantastic. Right. So our fourth reason here is all about stablecoins. And there's a couple of examples that we have on this, but basically some stablecoins are being, potentially put onto the Zilliqa network. And this is absolutely massive when we consider it has a relatively small, capacity, of 21 billion as a maximum token. And then on top of that, we're burning ZIL as a part of transactions, right? So over time, if we're using stablecoins on the Zilliqa network, we're going to see a huge value increase over time for the value of ZIL, right? So in this particular example here, we have a Singapore-based fintech platform who is announcing plans to launch its own pilot stablecoin initiative called _𝗕𝗓𝗪, powered by the Zilliqa network. Now, this came back out. This was written in 2019, but it's fantastic to see them exploring something on the Zilliqa network even back in 2019. But more recently, we have Zilliqa to work with Binance on dollar-based stablecoins as well. So Zilliqa, is they're basically looking to work with. I think it's the collaboration with 𝗕𝗓𝗪, a decentralized exchange, to basically, create a bridge between Ethereum and Zilliqa. So this will help for that interoperability, and then from there, be able to, move the ERC20 BUSD between Ethereum and Zilliqa, and that's absolutely massive. And we're going to potentially see more stablecoin activity on something like Zilliqa if they're able to do, effective sharding, don't have the scalability issues, have a fantastic team of engineers, entrepreneurs, etc., and it's peer-reviewed. And it's been backed by peer-reviewed studies, etc. Right? So Zilliqa is absolutely poised in the same way that Cardano is also poised for some of these absolutely fantastic things that are going to happen in the future. So I think I think they really are geared up very well for stablecoins and things like that to happen on the network. And I think this is our fourth reason when we started seeing stablecoin activity in the same way that you're seeing that for Algorand and for Stellar Lumen. It's fantastic, roadmap for them as well. So that was our fourth reason. And then Chris, the last one that we want to get into, our reason number 5 is all about price, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and load up Zilliqa and see what's going on here. So basically, Zilliqa at the moment is 8 cents, right? Down 5.5 for today. But this, whenever you're watching this video, it may be different. But right at this particular point in time, this is incredibly undervalued, right? It's less than 10 cents per ZIL token, right? There's currently out there in circulating supply 10.8 billion Zilliqa. So Yeah, basically just a little over 50%, so 51%. The maximum supply, as we've spoken about a couple of times, is that 21 billion, right? A really tiny market cap, not even 1 billion yet. This is a huge opportunity, and we can kind of see that with what's recently been happening here, right? So obviously, when it was launched, etc., we had this flat period here where, the savvy investor who knew what was kind of happening in 2019 could probably have bought something, up at half a cent, and now we're at 8 cents. So it's significant growth just in the recent couple of months, but I think it's going to go so much further than even 8 cents. I'm predicting that we're going to see dollar ZIL pretty soon. I'm pretty confident in that as we move further through 2021. So there's some fantastic opportunities to get ahead of the game with these particular prices as they are. So, that's our kind of fifth reason here. We always say that we look at the team, we say that we look at, the fundamentals of the technology, what's going on there. And then we also make sure that, there's longevity to these projects, something that is going to be around for a while. And then the token itself, is it undervalued? And we believe that Zilliqa is completely undervalued and has a huge potential to move much further forward. So Chris, is there anything else you'd like to talk about on price?
Just that, we talked through the staking rewards, and the fact that we've got so many people staking their ZIL because of the staking rewards takes a lot of the ZIL off the market, right? So in doing that, you're creating more demand, which in turn increases the price, and so on. And you can see that in the tokenomics of everything. So for me, yeah, just one thing to add, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's a very important point that we obviously have to keep those things in mind, that ultimately the value of this token is going, in our opinion, not financial advice, but in our opinion, it's going to be going up significantly over time. And so on that note, if you found this useful and informative, do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it, as do I. And if you're new to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe. By being subscribed, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Take care.